C'est parti.
C'est parti pour moi aussi.
Hey, Matt.
Cheers. How are you?
Good. Seriously, and this time, we talked about radical honesty last week. I'm really good. So I'm not even lying.
What do you mean you're really good?
I'm really good. Like, I mean, you know, last week we said like, oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, you feel good. Okay.
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, we're launching this week. What else? I'm learning Spanish, getting better at it. I decided to be more myself again, you know, growing up through that. So yeah.
You've tried some radical honesty comments with some dates.
Yeah.
And got a new outlook on life. It's
look,
amazing.
You know,
I'm glad.
Yeah, that's good. And you? How are you feeling?
I feel a bit tired. I had a big celebration Saturday. It was 1 year that Jamie left her job and decided to change her life and travel the world, and that's where we met. Just in January, a couple of months after that, but it was a year since her last day at her job. So we bought a bottle of rum, and it got pretty crazy.
Just wait.
So
just wait, because you just gave me an idea. You know what? We were supposed to talk at the beginning of the call what we're going to talk about, and I know what we're going to talk about because you just gave me the idea.
Well, then let's jump in.
Yeah, you're willing?
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking like we're going to talk like, because so right now I'm listening to Mark Larry. You know, he's Mark Larry. Yeah, I think is his name. He's a professor.
Mark O'Leary or no?
Mark Larry.
No, Larry.
I suck at names in English, to be honest. I can find it out if you want, but I'm really bad at that. Anyway, I think he's he has on Audible. You know, and it's from Duke University, I think, and he has all his courses on that, and it's about understanding human behavior. So, cool thing is that you have all, you know, the lessons like, you know, why are you happy, why are you not happy, and he's thinking a lot about psychology and everything. And you just gave me something to talk about, which is living good moments in life and celebrating life. So,
celebrating life. That I really have a lot to talk about.
Exactly. And this is why I want you now to tell me about this moment, because I know you sent me pictures that maybe we're going to share on Instagram and everything, but tell me more about this celebration.
Oh man, it's so important for me to celebrate everything, Phil. Like the little celebration are for me the most important one. And for me, it's really simple. Life is simple. If you want to be happy, you got to do small action that makes you happy every day. It's like the same thing as building something. You got to put one brick at a time all the time. So you don't have to wait until some kind of far event that you're going to achieve to then arrive there and say like, oh, well, I succeeded. Now I can celebrate. No, you celebrating every day that you do a little something, or just taking the time to think about it and celebrating life. I think it's another big key or piece of the puzzle of my happiness, my own happiness, is to celebrate. And it's funny because Jamie was not like that at all before meeting me. Yeah. And I really got her into the celebration of life, celebrating every little thing that you do, because we don't see often everything that we do every day to build ourselves, to build a better life, to just live comfortably. Or we do so many action that we don't think about that we do, and after that we think that we're not good enough when we do it. When let's say we don't achieve a goal, you think you're not good enough, but then every day you were working on it, you were making small milestone, and then each one must be celebrated, because what it gives you more confidence. It gives you just a sense of awareness, of consciousness of where you are, or of what you're doing right now. And the more you pump yourself up with celebration, the happier you will be, and the more productive you will be, and everything is going to be just better. And I'm not saying not to celebrate the big moment. They need to be celebrated also. I just feel that people don't take the time enough to celebrate the small things, and for me it is so important. So if I go back to this weekend, one week ago, I told Jamie, no, I think she told me, oh, it's gonna be a year since I left my job. And I look at her, I was like, wow, well, when is that? So she told me the date. I'm like, all right, let's mark that to our calendar because we're gonna celebrate. And she's like, why? I'm like, why not?
I
Why
like the
not?
question.
Why
I like
would
the
you not
candid question.
celebrate?
Like, why do you celebrate 1 year of I'm leaving your job? You know, it's like, you know what? I left my job 1 year ago. I'm gonna celebrate that.
Exactly, because it was such a bold move in her life that that it needs to be remembered. It needs to be sacred, to come back and just say, look, a year ago I decided that I would change my life. She left her ex, she left her job, she rented her house, and then she just decided to go with a one-way ticket to travel.
So
And
just to give a bit to people, like a bit of history. So you have to say like where Jamie's from.
she's from the UK.
Yeah, she's from the UK, and you're now in
Mexico.
yeah, which makes a big difference. Like just to tell people, like she left everything and she went to South America. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
not like a
Yeah, exactly.
it's not like a
and
small move.
and we met in Nicaragua
Yeah,
in
which makes it even more
January. We met in
complicated. Yes.
Nicaragua. Yeah. And I'm from Quebec. So
Yeah.
but now we're together here. So yes, basically, what the photo I sent you is a Cuban experience, is the real Cuban experience that I got introduced to in one of my trip to Cuba by a native guy that was there. And one morning, I just come into that bar and I wanted a cigar, and I just came to chat with him a lot. And I don't know why, I don't know how, because my Spanish was really not good, but I managed to have a big talk with him. And then he told me about it, and he said, if you want to have the real Cuban experience, you need to mix the flavor of these four things. So he bring me an espresso, he bring me some dark chocolate, and he bring me, he said, choose a rum that you want. So I take an ounce of one rum that was one of the best at the bar that he had. And then he said something to his friend in Spanish, and the guy had like a ton of cigar in front of him, and the guy just starts and he's looking at the cigar and he's touching them, smelling them, and he take maybe like 10, 12 cigar in his hand, and he's like, no, not this one, no, not this one. And at some point I see him, like, he smell it, he touch it, he's like, okay, yes, this one. And he bring me that cigar. It was like fresh from the morning. And then the guy say, now you just mix randomly the flavor all the time. So you take a puff of cigar, you take a sip of rum, a little bit of rum, a bit of espresso, and all along you just mix all the flavor like that. It's absolutely incredible. It's amazing. And then I told Jamie about that, and when we met here in Mexico for the first time, when she got out of the plane and we were in Mexico City after not seeing each other for 6 months, we arrive at our NBRB and we go to the roof, and she unpacked her bag and she had fresh cigar from Nicaragua. She had the best rum in the world, which is Flor de Caña, that she brought back from Nicaragua. And also she had we had some coffee and she had a chocolate, one of the best dark chocolate that they make on an island in Nicaragua. And we did another celebration like that, the celebration of being together. So this is really a moment for us to celebrate that little transition. And then I said to her, we should do that. That's a big moment this weekend. So let's just do the same Cuban experience. And we went on the rooftop, and then I sent you the picture, and it was just amazing. It was one of the best nights. But then the pirate in me came out, and I just drank all the bottle of rum. And at the end of the night, I was like that. And
And the next morning you were like
Sunday,
also like that.
yeah, Sunday was not a good day, and I'm still a bit tired from it today.
I like that.
But it was amazing.
I like the. It's funny because you're bringing two things in there, and this is what I like. I like the fact that you're celebrating small moments, what I call tiny moments, which is for me celebrating everything is so important. Like I don't know. Yesterday, I was working on our launch, and I was working on these videos, and I was like, oh, I want to make a video like that, and I make one version, and I'm like, oh, and what about if I add that? And so anyway, I don't want to spoil the result for you because you didn't see it yet, you couldn't see it, but anyway, like I did more and more and more, and I spent the day working on it. I was like, oh, this is so cool, and where is my flatmate? And I was like, oh, what do you look at that? And I had like goosebumps, doing. That was just being so happy to have done such a small thing, because it's when you look in the grand scheme of a launch, doing like one small post or something like that is just a small things. But I love like celebrating things. I think it's so important, as you said. People forget that
intro.
Yeah, they forget that. They forget that it's,
people forget that
you're here to it's your approach, that you're doing things. It's your approach that you're doing things. I have so many ideas, but everything is like bumping in my head when you were talking about that, because for me it's also a question of rituals, because I think that celebrating everything is becoming a ritual. And the cool thing is that when you like you have now your thing with Jamie, with this, with cigar and dark chocolate, and you can mix the flavor, and you can find the way you're going to drink that, and it's this is part of a ritual now that bonds you together, and if you do it again for what I don't think you're going to do for 2 years, because maybe it doesn't make sense to do 2 years, leaving your job, but the next time you're going to build something, it's going to be like, yeah, that's good, and maybe we're going to reuse that. But yeah, rituals are so important.
I just love how you said it at the beginning of the episode. You said celebrating life. And for me, that's definitely going to be the title of this episode. And for me, celebrating life it's exactly what it is. I want to make one point really clear. I am not talking about only celebrating the thing that we think are good. We must celebrate everything that you feel that needs to be celebrated.
Does it need to be celebrated, or is it just an outlook?
No, I mean for you, that for you it would be important to celebrate it, but you don't. I'm saying if you feel like you should celebrate it, then celebrate it, because it needs to be celebrated. That's why you feel it. And I'm not celebrating everything all the time, but when I get that feeling that it must be, for me celebrating something is just it's just bringing it in the present, bringing your awareness on what is going on, and taking a pause and taking a moment to just enjoy and be grateful about life or for something that happened to you. Like you can, I could celebrate that last year. I could have celebrated, let's say in July, that last year I was with a fucking crazy girl and I just said enough of that and I'm leaving. And it was but that decision to be myself and to not stay in that relationship and to just strive for more and more of me made the last year the best year of my life. So that's that decision, like the 1 year thing about something. Sometimes I will just, like I told you, you should have seen me when I recorded this intro that we start to put today on this episode. After I recorded it, I was like, oh my fucking God, that's so good. And it's probably not that good, but I was so happy. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to celebrate that. And I go and I see Jamie at the cafe and I'm like, oh, we got to celebrate. I really had a good intro moment. And I sent it to Phil and Phil really liked it. So we're both connected on that. That's perfect. And I was so happy. And for me, it was important to celebrate, be it just a cheers, be it just, it's just to take a moment to put a brick on the wall of accomplishment. If you want to accomplish big things in life, you got to see all the little things that you accomplish. And I deeply believe that most of the people need that. Some people are just so driven, like some typical like super businessman, or that would just go and I don't really how to. Maybe some people fast in their path, their success path, would not need but would grow their life. I mean, I'm so far into that concept that because I explained it to Jamie and she really liked it, her fucking alarm in the morning is celebration from Kool and the Gang. So we wake up to celebration and we just bounce our hips in the bed. We're like super tired and we're just like, we hug and we just move a bit like that and we celebrate like dancing our hips and we just start the day just celebrating that it's a new day. How can you celebrate more than that? Like for us, it's such a funny moment.
I got one. I got one. Justin Timberlake and Michael Jackson. Love never felt so good.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my songs.
In my playlist. I love that.
That's
song.
one of my songs when I want to be like pumped up. That's one of my songs. But you know, it's not just about. That's the thing. It's not just about achievements. I think it's not just about achievements. It's moments you create with people.
Yeah.
You know, I sent you something I wrote, and I don't know if one day it will be published or not. But so one of my dates went to, and I love doing that also in one of my dates, because sure, you can go to fancy restaurant or you can go to fancy bar, rooftops and all that. I've been in London, right? I've done all the rooftops and all that, and it's cool and all that. But I think it's the moment, it's the way you treat the moment that you have that makes it different. So there is one rooftop I remember because I was one of my best friends in London and it was not planned at all. And we just remember that night because we finished that night at 4 a.m. It was during the week, not planned at all. Anyway, like we were smashed the next day for work. But I just remember that moment particularly, and I can tell you everything. And like the thing I wrote lately was about this time where we were, with that person on the beach. And it doesn't matter, but maybe I will never see that person again, but we were on the beach and we were just having fun there and we danced a little bit and we had some banners and we just decided to take a second bottle of wine, and it didn't matter at the time, and I have plenty of memories like that. But it's not necessarily about, I don't know, I will not necessarily say achieving something, because it's like, oh, I achieved being on the beach, it's not really an achievement. But to give you another example of that, last year I was in Canada and I discussed with my friend lately. I was in Canada, so I was seeing my friends, that were there. And there was that day that with Cedric, which is one of my best friends, to we went together, like the day together, and we cross railways, rails, and we did a crazy thing. We just decided, to take pictures and celebrate. We were there. We lay down on the rails and we having selfies and everything. And when you think about it, it's completely stupid. And in the evening, we joined his wife, and we had some drinks together and all that. It's just, you remember that moment, and you remember other moments like that, just because you decide to celebrate the moment you're in. As you said, celebrating life. And yeah, it's as simple as starting from the morning, and then I'm maybe gonna change my alarm in the morning now. You're just giving me the idea.
but but yeah, you're totally right. It's really important to say that it's not about achievement. Yes, achievement needs to be celebrated, or not need, but are great prospects to be celebrated. But for me, celebrate. You could find anything in your day to celebrate. I could celebrate that I have an amazing microphone to record, and in just for $50, I got one of the best travel mic, and now I hear my voice when I edit the podcast, and I'm like, wow, celebrated in my mind. I celebrate that life brought me that mic. Like, you can think of anything that's in your day. I could celebrate and give a big cheers to one of my best friends, Jean-Michel, who taught me, who introduced me to mate. And now I'm having mate every time I'm doing an episode, and it makes me
Yeah,
such
that's too much, man.
in a good mood. You can just celebrate everything. You could celebrate that this cell phone is a piece of genius. You could, and you could also celebrate that this morning I fell out of bed and broke an ankle. Like, I don't know, it's not really important what you celebrate. I think it's the celebration mindset that's really, really important.
It's
the celebration mindset.
Yeah. I just want to say, by the way, to people that are, listening to us, I know it's supposed to be a discussion, that we are having some internet issues, so I hear you, but sometimes it's just slow. So open for the final sound, we will not hear that, but we'll never know.
Let's make it. I am in Mexico, and I have really poor internet where I am.
I don't know.
And I could go to cafe, but the sound would be less good. So I'm doing it at home. Internet is really bad.
No, but maybe
and on Phil's side,
also, don't worry.
But on Phil's side, it's been a week now that he had a problem with his mic, and he thought it was working, and then the mic just shut down this morning. So that's why the sound is different for his voice now. And I said to him, just buy the same mic as me. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I want
so
to.
Maybe next week.
It's not available.
Maybe next week, the next episode, Phil's voice gonna be like a real suavemente.
But you see, but that's the thing, even with my mic not working, not having the right setup, not having, the right internet or whatever, I'm happy to be there with you, and I'm smiling, and I'm so pumped again. I'm pumped again to be there and recording that I don't know, like 6th episode we're in, and I will be pumped to listen to it again, And this is what I like, for me, like each time we went through that momentum where at the beginning we were scared of doing it, and we were like, okay, how are we going to do it, and what is it going to be called, and what is the tagline, and we were like, our head was just like so full of things, and now I'm just enjoying the moment of doing that with you. And I talk about it to everyone. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing that with Matt, and we're gonna do that, and it's coming out here. Who is Matt? And who is that guy?
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. And that's, I think I want, uh, I would love that what we do inspire people to just start their own thing, because what's keeping people from not going is overthinking most of the time, is being too much in your head. And we had to face that and to just go into in action, and to know that we didn't have the best setup for a mic at first. Like when we listened back to the first episode, we're just the sixth episode and everything is so much better than the first and the second one. Let's just imagine how good it's gonna be in 30 episodes. It's just
Oh yeah.
amazing. You just gotta be in action, celebrate that you're doing it. It's gonna give you so much joy and so much motivation. I think that's a really the motivation part in life. So it's really linked to that celebration mindset, in my opinion, because a lot of people you see, like you see on the internet, on YouTube, motivated and how to do what you want to do and keep motivation every day.
Yeah.
I really believe that motivation does not come from trying to find motivation. For me, my motivation comes when I'm happy. I need to be happy to be motivated. So how am I being happy? By being myself, by celebrating, having a celebration mindset, and to say, like, how can you be happy if you never take the time to stop and just say, that beer is amazing.
But
That
this is what
moment is
works.
amazing. That friend is amazing.
Yeah.
You gotta be grateful to be happy. And
But
then when
this
you're
is
happy,
what
you're
works for
super
you though.
motivated. You want more of it.
But this is what works for you.
Yes, totally. That's my recipe. That's totally my
Yeah.
recipe. But I really believe that people would benefit that to do the same thing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be the concept guys, like in statistics and everything, because I listened to that this week. Ray
Yeah,
is amazing, and I
that's what I
need
like
to
about
look
you.
at her. I need to look at her because supposedly a researcher amazing about happiness. Sonia Lubersky or Lurdep. To be honest, look in the description because her name is just impossible to say for me. What she said is that happiness, and this is what they calculate and everything. It's 10% of it, your condition is only contributing to 10% of your happiness. So what I mean by your condition, I'm talking about if you have a car, if you have money, if you have I don't know, a house, if you have, so that is only 10% of your happiness. So when you think about it, 90% is not from that. Obviously your genes have something to do with it because the way you're wired and everything, some people, have more happiness than others. What we notice though is that people that have, they spend more time, people that are happy spend more time with their relatives, they spend more time with their friends, they spend more time with people close and everything, which is different than wanting to be alone. It's not the same thing. It's the opposite of loneliness, just for people. So that's the thing, it's the way you approach out and the way you have an outlook on life is what push you to be more happy. So your stuff, I know that it's gratitude. I know it's celebrating life. I know it's having those moments. I know it's being yourself. I know that you're listening a lot to the way you are internally and you're meditating. Like I know that last week you told me that like you felt like crap. You were doing stuff that you didn't like and you didn't know that, and you just spent some time meditating and you found out what was not you, and you decided to call me and say like, look, Phil, I don't like doing all the social media stuff. I really hate that and I don't want to do it. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's okay, because it's like, and on my side, you said, oh, I love doing the recordings and all that, and I said like, look, you know what, on my side I like doing the other stuff because it's like also creative and all that kind of things, and this is also why I celebrate that, because it's when I received your message, for me it was a celebration, because it was like, damn, we reached that point in that adventure that is like calling and saying like, look, I don't want to do that. Like I ate that, I don't want to do that. You can't even imagine how happy I was when I received your message. I was in my bed, ready to go to sleep, receive your message. listen to your message, decided to put some stuff back on, went outside, recording a message to send to you. It's like, cannot wait, I have to send something. So yeah, it's so that was a part for this part of theory. And I have a book for everyone, but there is a second concept, which is the Mania Concept. You know it? You must know it. No?
No.
Eudaimonia was, it's known from a long time. It doesn't have really a translation. I mean, it has a translation, but translation is bad because they talk about virtue and all that, you know. And it's about you will be happy if you reach your potential as a human, if I'll translate it in my words.
Okay.
So, which means that, you know, they look at the virtue that you have, but the virtue is not necessarily moral at that time in the Greek, because it was from Aristotle, and virtue is not necessarily that. So, for example, to play basketball and be good at basketball, you need to be tall. So, being tall is a virtue to play basketball, which has nothing to do with the virtue that we think about. And so, for me, for example, so you said that gratitude for you is one thing that is really important. So it's your concept to reach this concept of eudaimonia. For me, it's, for example, in my work, I like achieving things. You know, I'm a bit like a hero in the game. You know, I have this time where I need to grind. Then I have a super boss that I need to kill, and when I kill the boss, I'm super happy. Where is the next boss? You know?
I like the analogy.
Because it's a game, you know. It's so yeah. What are I just wonder, you know, except gratitude, and you know, what is your over stuff? Let's say, if you think about this concept of eudaimonia for you, for being your best well-being, what is the stuff that you need absolutely to be good and happy?
Well, for me, it's quite simple. It's all about love. The core, the real
Love.
deep core of everything. Oh yeah, it's so cheesy, and I'm
No, it's because,
totally
man, we are the
I,
Christmas
I
season.
okay, yeah,
So you know what is gonna
it's
happen?
coming, it's coming.
It's coming. Everybody's gonna look at Christmas movies. I'm gonna watch Love Actually like every
Yeah.
year since it came out, because it has some reason I say like love. I have a paper for me, you're perfect.
Yeah, you you see, but yeah, it's funny. I called myself an officer of love, and I think
Oh,
that there's a lot of them in the world. And I had this big discussion with Jamie on the rooftop Saturday after some rum, and but but yeah, for me, you ask me what's my recipe. My recipe is having love at the center of everything. So being myself is loving myself. Celebrating things is loving things. Putting my energy and focus on something is loving that thing. Everything, my recipe for happiness, it's all ingredients that are born in love. So that's just how I am. That's who I am. For me, if I do something that is out of fear, that is out of anger, hate, or whatever, that will shift my balance of happiness a bit more toward unhappiness. And every time I do things that stem from love, my balance will go more on the happiness side. And that's my recipe.
so let's say for people that listening to us, you know, and they want to start to be like, I mean, not necessarily love, but I mean, you know, you say love towards yourself and all that. Do you have like
Yeah.
a thing that you do, I don't know, in the morning or in the evening, like that can people could start tomorrow, for example?
Well, it's really quite simple, and I'm not at all saying that everyone the recipe for happiness is love at all, because I don't think that let's say I always like to take this example because it really make people like cringe like nails on a green board. But I don't think that the recipe for happiness of like Hitler was love. But and maybe was he happy, maybe not, but he still did his part in the history of the world. And I'm not saying in any way that it was good, or I'm not tying any kind of value or virtue to that. My only point why I say that is because you ask me how can someone start their journey to celebrating their life or to be themselves or to, well, that's exactly what it is. My one of my core and deepest belief is that you are a piece in a large game. Everyone is a piece in a large game. And if we take the example of, let's say, a chessboard, I've watched the Queen Gambit on Netflix
This is right.
this weekend, and I fucking loved it. And so I'm gonna take the chessboard as an example.
That's good. We love playing chess.
Yeah, I'm really bad at chess, but I'm good at life, and I can and I can take the analogy of the chessboard. Do you are either a pawn or a knight or rock. I don't know how the English word are for that, but your most helpful way to be in the big game is to do you. Don't ask the pawn to be a rook. And that's exactly what it is. Your happiness, you're gonna find it when you look inside to see who you really are, and you already know it. It has been screaming in you all your life. Your heart is always talking to you. The only thing you have to do is listen. People don't know how to listen to the language of the heart. And when you do that, you will know who you are. And then after that, you just take a board and then you split it in one side and you write everything that I love. And on the other side, you write everything that I don't like. And yes, and just do more of what you love and less of what you don't like. That's it. Simple as that. And that's going to be your recipe. And that's what you want to find. You want to find your recipe, not my recipe, not Phil's recipe, not your father's recipe, your sister, your best friend, not your idol, not Roger Federer recipe, not Elon Musk recipe, not anyone else, not Gandhi recipe. Your unique, got to be aligned with your purpose as a player here. For me, that is the truth. And I would, if someone thinks I'm wrong and tell me and prove to me that it's totally wrong, I'm going to be super open to listen to it, and it's going to make me grow. But for now, at this point in time, that's exactly what I think is the number one thing you got to do to be happy.
Look, I agree. What do you want me to say? Nah, like it's I totally agree with what you said. You know, for me it comes from caring, and there is a part of love on that. I think caring for yourself and for other people is good. I noticed that I was happier also with my relationship with other people when I tried to understand where they were coming from, instead of taking everything as it was. So using caring to understand also the relation that you have with people and everything. It's because it comes back to concepts, right? But if we come back to joy, and if we come back to happiness, and if we come back to how to celebrate life, I know I'm gonna take the games again, but it's because I love gamification and gamifying life and gamifying products and everything. There is three pillars in gamification, and it's very really easy to understand, because I think that if you conduct your life based on these three pillars, you will be happy. First one is autonomy. So which means that you're capable to make any choice that you want. You know, if you put yourself in a position that you can make any choice that you want, yeah, you will have way too many choices, but still, you know, the fact that you have still choices that you're capable to do, it's good for you. Second is mastery. So it's getting, you know, better at something, or it's getting just better at what you do. And that start by curiosity, and it start by work. You know, I didn't know as much about it, for example, human behavior that I knew before, but it's because like I was interested into that. And so I started to look at, you know, YouTube and Coursera and all that. And you have like all these people that are putting so much content out there, and you can consume that. And it's like from your bed or whatever. And I was for a while like just reading that and just looking at videos on YouTube and everything. And the funny thing is that you can't even go to the bottom of it. So there will be more videos, and there will be more people talking about it, and you will learn even more, which is great. And so that's the first two things: autonomy and mastery. And the last one, which sometimes is the hardest, but a lot of people talk about it, it's the purpose. So what is your purpose? You know, I like someone said, which I don't remember who it was, but he said that if you're not, I think he said something like, if you're not improving the life of people around you, you're doing the wrong thing.
You're doing the wrong thing?
Yeah. Because what is the goal of what you're doing if you're not improving the life of people around you? You know, the way you are, like as you say right now, like you're improving the life of Jamie, of mine. You have a direct impact on my life and on the life of Jamie. And I'm pretty sure you have a direct impact on the life of a lot of people. It doesn't have to be like, yeah, you know, I save his life and all that. Like, I'm not talking like that. Like it's a bit like, not everybody can be a doctor, but but it's just that, you know, is what is the, I think it's Will Smith that said, you know, I want to represent an idea. I want to be there for something, you know, and when you listen to it, it's like, you know, why do I want to be there? For you, it's celebrating life and everything. And it's, I mean, I love and don't love, obviously. I love that.
You bring a point that's so important, and I know it's far in the episode, but it's really important for me. I could not stress enough. I think that's one of the biggest problem today, is that anywhere you look, I totally disagree with what you said, in fact, because I think that
What?
everywhere you look, yeah, with everywhere you look, people tell you that you have to be more. You're not good enough.
I didn't say
You
that you
need
have
to
to be
be
more.
better. You need to strive to improve people's life. You need to do all these things.
No, you have to
And
have an
I
impact
think
on
it's
people's life.
wrong.
It's just not the same thing.
Well,
You don't
it
have to
makes
be
no
more
sense,
like,
because you always
no.
have an impact. You always, everything that you
Yeah.
do, everything is interconnected. If I just clap, if I just go on the street and do a clap with my hand, I impact something in the
Yeah.
environment. And we are always impacting everything. So
Mm-hmm.
just say impacting someone doesn't make sense. We always impact everyone.
Yeah, but
But I
impacting in a
think,
good way.
well, what's a good way? What's a good way for you, for other people, for someone that, like, you can do the same thing to 10 people, and half of them can think it's good and half of them can think it's not good. So I don't agree with that. And in fact, I think it's part of the problem. I think that nobody is happy with who they are. They think that they need to be better. I was that. I thought all my life that I needed to be some kind of savior, some kind of people that help people, and that was that I was looking up to everyone that was succeeding, and I was always comparing myself and telling me I'm not there. I don't do that, so I'm less. I was trying to be someone I was not.
Yeah, but
And
this
I
is
have
where you bring a concept. Okay, go for it, sorry.
no, I just have a really, really good example
Yeah.
of one guy that is here in San Cristobal, where I am in Mexico. Okay. And this guy, every time I go there, it makes me think so much about his life and about my life and about the place that we all have here. That's exactly what I was talking about. Our place here. Okay? Here. And
I
the
can't see you
guy
like
that's there.
right now it's blocked the video, so tell me what you're pointing at.
Yeah, but whatever, the we're gonna have good audio either way. But that guy has been running that restaurant for 17 years
Hmm.
by himself, alone,
Yeah.
every day but Sunday. And he makes the best fucking falafel pita that you would ever have in your life. Jamie she was an event manager. She's traveled a lot in the world. She's been to like Michelin star restaurant. She's gone to so many different countries. She's a foodie. She loves food. She's tasted so many things. And she told me that it was by far the best falafel she ever had. And I totally agree. It's just incredible. I'm so happy when I can go there and have one. But I always think about the guy. His place in this world is to wake up every day for the past 20 years
Hmm.
and go and make one thing,
Yeah.
because there's nothing else in the restaurant. It's just, do you want a falafel in a pita? Do you want it in a wrap? Do you want a plate of falafel? But it's all the same thing. But
Hmm.
he makes it such with such perfectness, and he do that every day. And I look at him and I talk with him, and he looks really happy.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be recognized. He doesn't need nothing of that.
But
And in a way, he is
who said it
improving
needs to
people's
be
life for the
recognized?
good.
Yeah, but who said it needs to be recognized?
Well, I know you didn't say that, but it brought to me the idea, because I
No.
know a lot of people, that's how they think.
Okay.
A
But the thing is
lot
that
of
you reach.
people think they're not good enough and they need recognition. Why do you think Facebook and all that Instagram and like thing is so big? Because people want to be able to, or I'm more or whatever, instead of just being themselves and not caring about anything else. So
Yeah, so
that was
I
more the
have my
point.
theory on that. Since I'm a product manager, I always say
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and all of that. I'm just gonna say that sentence, okay? But I'm not gonna enter into it because we're gone for an hour. When you look at it, Facebook and all that are built on the seven deadly sin. Okay. So what I
Oh,
mean is the fact
for
that,
sure.
okay, but I'm not gonna enter into that. The thing is that what you're talking about, which is really great, it's about motivation. Why do you do stuff? Is it intrinsic motivation, so coming from within yourself, or is it extrinsic motivation? For example, I'm going to give an example that has been done with children, is that some children love playing music, and they love, like, they had an instrument, whatever, piano, violin, whatever, and they love doing it. So it was an intrinsic motivation to play it. The parents, since they saw that they were so good at it, they started to put them in competition and all that. So suddenly they started to be recognized by the external people about violin and everything. When they started to lose, they lost their interest in the violin. So what does it say? It says that sometimes, when you put too much extrinsic motivation into something and it can't be sustained through time, you lose completely the motivation of doing it. And this is where you can see, psychologists and all that, learning a lot about behavior models and everything. And this is what makes it interesting, is that a purpose doesn't need to be like, I need to change the world. Maybe your purpose is doing the best falafel in the world. Or maybe it's just to feed your family all the time, and protect your family. It's a perfectly sensible, and whatever the world say, whatever internet say, it's a really great purpose. You don't have to be the best falafel in the world, and be recognized by the world. You can be the best falafel in the world and nobody knows about it. It's even better, It's a bit like secrecy and everything. But that's the thing, this is what
and that's what I want people to know.
Oh, no, that's great. But you agree with what I said,
Yeah.
then you're not in disagreement. But that's the thing, you still need to think. You still need to think about what is inside you, what is your personal purpose. And it's perfectly fine, as you said, to not, whatever. But I still believe that you need to develop a certain skill set, whatever is that skill set, whatever is that interest. And maybe your skill set is just being the best, I don't know, the people that know the most about football. Why not? And it can be just with your friends, or about movies, or about, whatever, or politics. It doesn't have to be because your interest in that is that. Now, can you turn an interest in money? This is something else. I don't want to enter into that, but this is I think it's a personal thing. I mean, that's just.
But you said that you don't need to be the best in the world, and that's totally the point.
Yeah.
It would not make sense.
I said
the
you
game,
don't need,
the
you
game
can
of
be
life.
the best in the world, but you don't have to be recognized as such, which is not the same thing. Because you said it's the best falafel.
Yeah,
Nobody knows this.
but I don't. Yeah, but I don't agree that you need to be the best in the world. What I think, the game of life would make no sense if everyone was meant to be the best in the world. It makes no sense, because if you are a janitor and you gotta sweep that basement every night, well, yes, you can do it the best way you can do it, and that in a way that makes you feel good. But probably it definitely probably won't be the best mopping skill in the world, and it doesn't matter at all. The only thing that matter is that you make sure that where you are in your life and in your heart, that you follow what you know about yourself, that you try to do more of who you are and less of who you're not, and that you don't compare yourself to anyone else external. Some people are meant to be the best in the world at what they do, and some people are meant to be the worst in the world at what they do, and they are not, one has not more value than the other. They both have the same value in that game of life. And in fact, you were talking about game and gamification, and I think that this episode is the best place to talk about gamification, because celebrating life is about making a game out of it. It's about it's just
we can talk
there's
about
a book that's called The Game of Work.
I love it so much. I love so much games that it's just like
yeah.
Like I spend so much time looking at that.
Some of the aspects of life would greatly benefit to be seen in more of a gaming way.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be so serious about everything. You don't have to really take yourself so seriously and to think that, oh, one thing has such an impact, or no, like, just make it a game, make your work a game, make your life a game, celebrate, break a bottle if you want to celebrate, but make it a game in a balanced way. Like, it's not everything that's a game, but bringing a bit of the gaming mindset to make things less serious also
especially
help.
on boring things.
Especially on boring. Yeah,
I can tell you, like, one boring thing we used to do at work is so it was not my last job, or job before, I'm a product manager, right? So, we release products and all that. And sometimes the release has to be done at 2 a.m. in the morning. And it's done by one person that has the bad luck to do it that time. But with my team, we said, oh, you know what? We're going to do one thing. And we decided to do like pajama releases. So we were all connecting in the evening. Even the people that didn't have to be there, they were sometimes coming with us. And they were like, I'm going to participate with you tonight, guys. So there is still the person that is doing the release. He doesn't need us, but we're all there and we're waiting for the release and we discuss about stuff. And sometimes we had a drink. Sometimes we had not because it was like, 2 a.m. and everybody wants to drink at the time. But it was fun because everybody was there and we were having like, weird stuff. And still I've pictures of that, of my team. And that's the thing. It's something that is so boring that you can change in something fun that people are like, hey, you know what? I'm the one doing the release next time and it's cool.
You see, that's just a point of view. That's just which glasses you're putting. Is it super boring, or can I make this totally different and engage people and bringing a sense of community in the team? And that's amazing. I love that story. That's fucking amazing. We should celebrate that you did that with your team.
I celebrate that with them. Look, we celebrated so much stuff that even if we're not in the same company and a lot of people left for other company, we still have a Slack with this team. And we still talk to each other almost every day. We did so much stuff that we are still, and in there, there is like 3% that are not in the company, 3% that are still. So I believe
so
that
powerful.
if you're like really yourself, if you don't try to be someone else, if your purpose is just, for example, for me, it's having fun in life, caring and loving, what I'm doing. That's my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I want to represent also an idea, but that's something personal. I think that people will feel that. And if you're genuine in what you do, look, that's the thing. Are we going to close on that? Do you want to close on something? Wow. Do you have a book in mind? I have a book in mind, and I will let you finish.
I have a book in mind, but I have it and I never read it, so I don't want to push it. I don't know if it's
what it is.
Relevant or something.
Is it the same?
It's the game of work.
Ooh, there is a game of work. There is a gamifying work. I think also there is plenty of them. Okay.
But
if you want to follow more about gamification,
it's just that's.
We're going for another 20 minutes.
No.
I'm just going to finish on him. It's you told me earlier like about Cal Newport, and I thought about someone else, which is I think it's Mark Kotler or something like that. And he wrote a book, The Rise of Superman.
Steven Kotler.
Mark? Steven?
No, Steven.
Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. So you know that book?
Book? I haven't read it, but this I read. I had the audiobook of his latest one, which is "The Future is Faster Than You Think," and it's really mind fucking blowing.
Yeah,
I
Rise of
recommend
Superman also
everyone that wants to know what's coming up in the future. That's one of the best books you can read. You may not like it, but that's exactly what's coming.
So yeah,
and we should celebrate it.
We should. I need to listen to that book. I didn't listen to it.
Yeah,
but
we should celebrate everything. And I know on what I want to finish. Because some people will be at the end of that episode and they'll be like, "Hey guys, are you seeing situation in their world actually? Like people are dying, people are in their house confined and with the virus and all this, and I am in no way saying that this doesn't exist. But I think to be happy, you got to focus on your inside world and not on the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
And in any situation, you can you have the possibility, you have the opportunity to make your inside world happy, even if everything else is falling apart. That is your choice. That may be hard, but it's your choice. And that's what I'm saying in everything that we said here. I think, in fact, in those moments, people need it the most. We need to cultivate happiness, and people need to see that there is still a life to be lived. There's still celebration to be celebrated, and there's still love to be given and received, even in these times.
Yeah. And I just want to add something on just you said, because I want to quote someone, but he's called Mathieu Chouinard. But he always tells me that on top of what you just said, is that it's okay if you're not feeling good. So be compassionate with yourself. Prove like compassion towards yourself, because it's also, you know, how you're going to reach this happiness and everything. So I wanted to quote yourself, because you know, as you said so many things that are really good. So I think that was a good quote. Thanks. For me, and to finish by a quote of you.
Yeah.
Thanks, man, for the discussion.
That's true, and I totally believe it. Thanks for the amazing discussion again. And well, I'll leave it on my favorite quote is, be yourself and have fun again, and had a little celebration every day, more than what you're doing right now. If you're not celebrating at all, find one little thing every day and just take a moment to celebrate.
The sunset. Celebrate the sunset with your loved ones or alone. Go for it.
If really you cannot find anything to celebrate the opportunity to breathe this very breath. That's it. You will always have that on all your life that you're alive. You will always have that anchor of the breath that you can celebrate, because if you don't breathe, it means you're dead. So celebrate that breath if that's the only thing you can celebrate. That's it.
Thanks.
So yes, see you next week.
See you next week.
And thanks for that. That was amazing.
Thanks.